Good evening to viewers. Thanks indeed for joining us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Elekam has sealed entry files of candidates vying for posts in upcoming senatorial elections in the country, and so far 6 political parties are to participate. And also in this newscast we talk about shocking statistics of cholera victims in the southwest region of the country that has witnessed a drastic drop, and health officials are still insisting that the population should not relent at wiping out the disease. These are major headlines, details and more just in a moment. Good evening to you viewers. We thank you so much for joining us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. We begin right away in politics, where 6 political parties have since yesterday deposited the list of their nominated candidates to take part in upcoming senatorial elections in the country. And so far we have the CPDM, the UDC, the UNDP, SDF, and in the following report, Roland Akon completes that list and also tells us that they deposited their files late midnight yesterday. His report.
The SDF party arrived first at Elekam to deposit the list of its candidate for the senatorial. The National Salvation Front of Issa Chiruma also deposited. Closely followed is the NUDP of Maigari Belebuba, and then the 3 factions of the UPC party, Papindumbe, Bernard Wanji and Babo Lipot. And then last but not least, the delegation of the governing CPDM party led by Deputy Secretary General Gregoire Owona. Electoral experts say
now Elekam have to examine all the documents, and we have to publish the list of candidates 15 days before election.
Litigations over rejected files will be tabled before the Supreme Court, sitting in as the Constitutional Council.
Meantime, board members of Elections Cameroon today converge on the capital city Yaoundé to examine the various files submitted and also assess the level of work done so far. And Roland Akon once again in the following report tells us that there are reports that workers of Elections Cameroon might go on strike as a result of failure by the officials to pay their February salary. His report.
Workers of Elekam are threatening to go on strike over the delay in payment of their February salary. The information is contained in Friday's edition of Le Messager newspaper. The general manager of Elekam attributes the delay on slow bank transactions. Sani Tanimu says it is not a problem of many. Electoral board members met in Yaoundé Friday.
Well, we are meeting first of all because the law requires that once electors have been convened to the polls by the President of the Republic, the electoral board should meet at least once every 15 days, so as to assess what is happening.
And the biometric registration.
We have gone past 5 million. 5 million, which for us, we are not doing badly. After less than 6 months, we've registered. I think this is the first time that this is happening in Cameroon under these very stringent conditions of registry.
As Elekam examines the files of candidates deposited by the different political parties for the April 14 senatorial, public attention is focused on the UPC case, where the 3 factions of the party deposited 3 different lists. The case will be referred to the administration, which will decide on which of the UPCs is legal to stand for the April 14 senatorial.
Meantime, the French Minister of Foreign Affairs is due to meet Head of State Paul Biya today evening, and also Cameroon's Minister of External Relations. And Laurent Fabius' visit is to secure the release of the 7 French nationals taken hostage in the far north region of the country some weeks back. And from Cameroon, he would be meeting the President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, on the same purpose. We shall be telling you more on that in our subsequent newscast. Now we bring you back to the economic capital Douala, where Muslim faithfuls have been denied access into the Bonaberi Mosque after its doors were sealed by the officials of Vuri, or administration of Vuri, and this is coming barely 1 week after the fierce fighting that broke out between the sons of the late Hausa chief Amadou Tamko. Senior reporter Chris Toby in the following report tells us more.
It is following instructions from the Vuri senior divisional officer that the biggest Bonaberi situated mosque called Sheferi Tamko has since Thursday, March 14, been sealed. This follows the fierce fighting that occurred amongst the sons of late El Haj Amadou Tamko over his legacy. That was Friday, March 8, 2013. Muslim faithfuls who usually crowd the mosque in quest of Allah's benedictions on Fridays were this day shown alternatives, and this not without hiding their feelings on the issue. The faithfuls hold that the fight over Tamko's inheritance need not prevent them access to their prayer place. Trouble, it should be recalled, sparked off after the eldest son, Baba Tamko, got himself installed at Newbell and came to forcefully take over his father's seat, despite the latter's will that had already been respected by all. This finally led to gunshots and 4 people admitted into hospital, amongst whom 2 who were stabbed. The matter, far from ending with here, is now in the hands of the judiciary.
Now we talk about the conditions of the traders at the Ndokpasi market here in the economic capital Douala, who say that they are now frustrated after their sheds were demolished and also destroyed by agents of the Douala City Council. They say that they were not informed or alerted before the exercise by officials of the City Council. Details in the following report by Anna Bilan.
These petty traders at Ndokpasi market are struggling to pick up the leftover of their seeds and other merchandise which have just been destroyed by agents of the Douala City Council. The traders expressed their fury and lamented that they are now close to frustration, since feeding their families now would be a very difficult task.
See how we do suffer. All that we go do how for that and then compensation for planted. We go try what see. That's the most begin to so we go do how for them.
They used to make ends meet by displaying their goods here, when suddenly council bulldozers rushed and smashed everything. The worried business persons are surpassed by the situation and asked to at least be relocated. The merchants in Ndokpasi cry for their goods which have been destroyed and said if they were informed, they would have gathered some for rainy days. It is the 5th time that their structures are being demolished, and the petty traders complain that the market inside is very small to accommodate the traders of Ndokpasi. The agents of the Douala City Council on their part claim the demolition exercise is to embellish the city and also the Ndokpasi locality.
To embellish the Ndokpasi locality, but the traders say that they were not informed before the exercise. Now we talk scores of persons that are currently receiving treatment at hospitals here in Douala, precisely the La Cantine and also the General Hospital, after a ghastly motor accident that took place along the Douala-Yaoundé highway. That was yesterday, and 1 person reportedly died on the spot after the incident, and the incident happened happened after a bus belonging to a travel agency here in the economic capital Douala came head-on with a brewery truck. Now, stakeholders in the fight for consumers' rights in Cameroon have called on officials of AESONL, Kamwata and other enterprises in the country to communicate more with consumers, especially when their satisfaction is being threatened. And they were speaking in a meeting in Douala today on the sidelines of commemorative activities marking the 28th edition of the World Consumers' Rights Day. Ranibel Satowara took part in the meeting that took place here in the economic capital Douala and now tells us more in the following report.
Purchases that people make ranging from items to services like energy, health, water to name but few, their rights as consumers must be protected. The products must be in good state and at homologated prices. On the occasion of the 28th edition of the World Consumer Rights Day, the National Chamber of Consumers in Cameroon and its partners saw another opportunity to inform and sensitize consumers on their rights, as well as evaluate the problems they face on a daily basis. According to the president of the National Chamber of Consumers in Cameroon, Calvin Ya, most Cameroonians are still ignorant and reluctant to seek legal redress when their rights are being trampled upon, especially when they do not have the desired satisfaction from what they paid for. With ongoing reports of water and energy shortages throughout the country, stakeholders in the Chamber of Consumers called on authorities of such enterprises to communicate more with consumers on subsidies or preventive measures. The Chamber of Consumers, however, revealed that 70% of Cameroonians now understand they have certain rights as consumers, although most still feel reluctant to follow legal procedures.
Now we talk health, where health officials in Boya Southwest region of the country have pledged that they won't relent at ensuring that cholera is completely wiped out in the region. They were speaking during the launching of the campaign against cholera, where they equally called on locals to assist in the fight against the disease. Aboya Base correspondent Derek Jato has the details of the report.
In 2011, Mile 16, Bolifamba in Buya subdivision was the most hit village by cholera in Cameroon. But the combat from the Southwest Health authorities against the epidemic was timely. Saluting his collaborators and the population of the region for their joint efforts in fighting out this deadly disease, the Southwest Regional Delegate of Public Health, Dr. Mbome Victor, said though as from 2012, no case of cholera has been recorded in the 239 health centers of the region, the population must remain collective to finally extinct this epidemic from the region. Launching the regional campaign to fight against cholera, the Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai said the 3,304 cholera cases recorded in the region in 2011 with 42 dead was a big loss to the region, though the measures were prompt. And to prevent the calamity from falling again, health officials should go to work immediately.
After experiencing the consequences of the epidemic in 2011, where some of our relatives or friends were directly affected or even lost their lives, I'm convinced that we learned our lessons and will not want to experience this situation a second time. I wish to call upon the health personnel serving in all health establishments within our region, I mean both public and private health institutions, to redouble their efforts for an integrated surveillance of diseases with epidemic potential.
The 1,462,752 inhabitants that make up the region first saw the arrival of cholera in the region in 2003, and since then, this deadly disease is showing no sign of going back soon.
Erija today, Abuya-based correspondent reporting on statistics of cholera, of victims of cholera in the year gone past in Buea Southwest region of the country. And viewers, we thank you so much for watching. We have come to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Join Fenelon Mahobsen at exactly 8 p.m. for the French version of the news. Meantime, have a wonderful stay in the company of our programs. Have a wonderful weekend.